welcome to the Divine Direction Author Interview Series. I am Benicia Ponder from InspirationalAuthors.com, and I'm bringing you this interview series to introduce you to some of the authors from Divine Direction, 22 inspirational stories of hope, healing, breakthrough, and transformation. This collaborative book project was absolutely amazing. The authors who contributed to this project have been absolutely amazing. The stories that are shared, all the reviews are saying inspirational, encouraging, uplifting, inspiring. So if you have not yet had an opportunity to pick up your copy, or you have not had an opportunity to buy 5 or 10 for your closest friends, then I encourage you to go over to inspirationaldevotionals.com to get your copy today. You can also go there to check out more about all of the authors, but today we get a chance to chat with a special co-author, Kenya Williams, and he was the only male author in this series. It wasn't necessarily a female based collaboration, but Kenya was the only male who stepped up and said, I'm brave enough to share my story too with all these women. So I was excited about that, and I hope for future collaborations we'll have more male participation in the collaborations. So Kenya, welcome to the interview series. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm excited. So, backstory, I'm going to allow Kenya to introduce himself to our community in a few moments. But a little bit of backstory, Kenya and I have worked together on solo projects of his. In fact, Poetic Romance was the first book that I helped him to publish. And right now, we're working on the second collection of poetry from Kenya called Words from Within. And both books are amazing as he is pouring out his heart in poetic form. And him sharing his story in Divine Direction was another form of him sharing and providing light for the world. So Kenya, I was excited to have you as a part of the Divine Direction book collaboration project. So tell our community a little bit about you and what you're up to these days.
Well, I'm currently writing a series of a espionage. His name is Blacksmith. I'm hoping I can introduce him to the public soon, and with a series of books of stories of his life. You would say it's a little different from poetry. It's more storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's pretty much it for now. Just still writing. I got a lot of more poems to display to the world, and hoping everyone can gain some insight from it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I got going on. I'm always writing.
Yes, I love it because you, like I said, you have written 2 books of poetry. You contributed to Divine Direction. Right now, you're writing a drama, crime fiction, mystery type thriller book that's going to be released as a series of stories. And it's been such a pleasure to work with you because you are so creative. You do like to share your stories with the world, whether they be in the form of poetry or sharing your personal stories, or even creating characters to share with us. Where does your inspiration for stories and telling those come from?
Just when I was a kid, I always try to imagine a better place, that'll take me away from whatever I'm going through. And it just developed into a craft where not only it takes me there, I just wanted to write it where I can take others, to see my vision, what makes me happy and how I deal with, life and, the ups and downs. So that's where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah, I love it because there are so many people who who feel like they can't share their stories, that they can't do it, or they have to do it in just one way. And I love the fact that you explore different types of writing. You are exploring different ways of expressing yourself. So from poetry to short stories, memoir style, to uh, fiction, like where does all of this creativity come from? I know you said you started writing stories to kind of express yourself, but where does all this creative genius come from?
Just infatuated with movies, music. I just love all that. Like I was just love creative writing. And as a child, I always like I kind of looked up to this writing director. He's dead and gone now. It was Michael Landon. And I always wanted to be a writer, the good storyteller. He did Little House on the Prairie, Highway to Heaven. And then before that, his acting days. He was the Cartwrights, Bonanza.
Yeah.
So, I just was infatuated with that, and I always wanted to be a great writer like him, and then I remember just riding in the car with my aunt, and I told her I wanted to be like that. And she had been, before she passed away, she always told me continue to write. And I've been writing for years, and I never thought that I would come this far in the writing. I mean, you look at it, you come out of a little small town, and everybody had they little, I would say, imaginary place they go.
Hmm.
And I found mine through poetry, writing, and cartoons and stuff. And it just grew from that. It just grew from that.
I
And then
love
as I
that.
got older, I felt like, maybe I can write something to make somebody else feel better like me,
Mhm.
because sometimes I be going through stuff, but when I write, it's uplift me. And I just felt like, if I can put something together to uplift someone else, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I've
Mhm.
been doing it. And at the same time, it just allows me to step in those different types of world.
Mhm.
The writing. I even tried music. I wrote lyrics. I recorded a little bit, performed in school, college, TCC, and I used to do the little poems at the poetry club. So I mean, it's been in me. It's
Right.
just now I've been having the opportunity to get it out, and I thank you a lot for allowing me to give to the people what I always wanted to give, another side of me, and I'm just so happy and grateful for that. And it's been an honor. It's been an honor.
Yeah. So I um I always it's always a pleasure to work with someone who is so passionate about sharing your story, because I believe that all of us have stories inside of us. There are people out there who are waiting to hear from us. And it might not be millions and millions of people. Maybe it's 10 or 20. Maybe it's even one person who is waiting for us to share. But so many people hold their stories on the inside. They hold their genius on the inside. And I love working with you, Kenya, because you're saying, you know what, I'm not holding this inside. I've been given a gift to share, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to do that. And I know that by you sharing your gifts, you are letting other people know that it's possible, because I can only imagine that there are people around you who might be like, what are you doing, like what is this all about? Do you have people like that who
Yes,
who
ma'am.
don't see your vision for you? What do you say to them?
I just I say, honestly, I just like, well, this is my vision, and I just go for it. I don't worry about, somebody liking it or disliking it. I just go on how I feel. I write it. And if I can draw that picture That's what I do. I don't even worry. Sometimes, you do want that from everybody, but in the real world, like my mom always say, not everybody gonna like you,
Yeah.
and not everybody gonna like what you do. So long
Mhm.
as you true to yourself, I feel like you'll be fine. That's how I look at it. It's my dream, my vision, my goal, and I just do the best I can at it, hoping that I can, like inspire someone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it. So, like we mentioned before, the reason why you're here is you were one of the co-authors for Divine Direction. What was that experience like for you? Because again, this is a different way of you sharing, and you were sharing a personal life experience to give someone else inspiration and hope. So, what was your experience like being a part of the whole book collaboration process?
Oh, it was like a dream come true because like to hear like some of the stories and read some of the stories also. And these stories coming from ordinary people that we see every day. And you wouldn't even think that they'll go through something like that. And at the same time, still have their integrity and just
Yeah.
open, and it's amazing. It's amazing because it's like it's showing me I'm not the only one that go through stuff. And I'm not the only one that God has brought through hard times. It's the other people that, like it says, other people out there have it just as worse as you. But we don't know. But in this book, everybody was able to show, what they went through and how they grew from it. Because I know it was a changing experience. And still to this day, I think about it, and I could have been dead and gone, you know, and to walk away from that, on my arm, people may look at it like it's just, I'm deformed or whatever, but this scar right here just let me know, how blessed I am. It's like a reminder. And,
Yeah.
it's very good to be involved with something like that because I think a lot of people need that because the world's so messed up with all this stuff going on, and to hear somebody survive a horrific accident or just went through some type of trauma,
Mhm.
I believe it'll wake up some hearts and minds. Might not be all, but it'll wake up some, and I'm just glad I was able to be a part of it. It's just that's all I love is just to share my message, and I always try to be positive because we always go through something. I go through stuff,
Mhm.
but I be positive, and my writings like help me get through that. And I feel like if they help me get through it, then help someone else too. So that's why I just like this is my gift. This is what I got to do with it. So I just put it out there.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're going to ramp up a call for authors for our next book collaboration project. And I know there are so many people in our community who have powerful stories that
Yeah.
they've kept inside of their hearts for way too long. What would you say to them about being able to get those stories out and onto the page?
Don't be discouraged, and get it out. Let somebody hear. That's just like holding something inside, and it's tearing you up. But once you get it out there, you'll feel a lot better. That's just like how that's just another form of talking, I would say. But it's just an expression and being creative with it. That's how I look at it. And just don't be afraid. God brought you through it. Let him know that you know that what he did for you.
Yeah,
So
yes.
that's the advice I would give. Let it out.
Let it out. I love it. I love it. Yes. Let it out. And that's really what we like to do in the inspirational authors community. We are a group of of individuals, whether we are just starting out with writing, we haven't written yet, we haven't published a book yet, or we've published lots and lots of books, right? Whatever your level is, the key that combines us all is the fact that we want to be a light in this world. And so all of you who are watching this interview, I pray that what Kenya has demonstrated, because it's not just that he's talking the talk, he's actually walking the walk. He's saying let it out, but because he's done it and he's seen exactly what happens when you are able to share with the world. The not only the lives that you're able to impact, but your own life can change. Your own life can change when you start to write, when you start to share. You become just it does something to you, and I can say that from personal experience. It allows you to be able to grow and develop personally and spiritually, even emotionally and mentally. You're able to grow. So Kenya, as we wrap up this interview, is there anything else you want to leave our community with?
Believe in yourself and know that whatever you do, you put God first, and don't give up. Just keep poking at it, and dreams will come true. Mine are coming true. I never expected it to happen like this. I just kept poking at it. I kept writing, and I said to myself, like, man, I'm doing all this writing, but ain't nothing happened yet. And throughout the years, a lot of good things happen. I mean, I don't have so many people. Like, I don't written for so many people, and sometimes they'll post of a memory of something that I said I wrote for them, and that just let me know, hey, I'm on the right track. And I just keep striving for success, and don't get discouraged. If you have it in your heart, go for it, and just keep at it. But always remember, put God first in whatever you do, and everything else is gonna work its way.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. So definitely believe in yourself, trust God, and know that it's possible. Thank you so much, Kenya, for sharing with our community. You are indeed an inspirational author, shining your light in this world. And for those of you in our community, like I said in the beginning, if you haven't already picked up your copy of Divine Direction, go and do that. We are again a #1 bestseller. We started out as a #1 bestseller in 14 categories when we launched originally back in March of 2022. Now we're still sharing the message of divine direction. We're still seeing lives being impacted. And today we were #1 in 15 categories, which is totally amazing. And I say that because a lot of people discount the Amazon bestseller list and those kind of things. However, I see it as a recognition that there are people who are reading the book. There are people who are learning about hope, who are getting inspired and encouraged. There are people, whether it's 10 or 10,000 new people out there who are really hearing about the message that you can overcome what you've been through. You can thrive even in the midst of the most challenging situations. Even if it's just one person who gets that today, I am thrilled because that's what we're doing. That's what the book is all about. Divine Direction, 22 inspirational stories of hope, healing, breakthrough, and transformation. That book is impacting lives, and I cannot be more excited about that because the authors that contributed to it made it possible. So thank you, Kenya, for sharing with us today. Thank you to all of those of you who are watching this interview series. Make sure to like, even to share, and to leave your comments here on this episode. I'll see you again for our next interview in this series. Until then, know that you are loved, you are blessed, and you are the light of the world. And it's time for you to let your light shine. Bye-bye.
Nice.